Hello everyone, welcome to the daily current affair analysis from Veranda IAS. Today, we are going to see some of the important current affair topic from the day of 12th of June 2023, and before proceeding further, we'll be also discussing about some of the important previous year questions from 2023 prelims, and after that we'll be going with an editorial analysis. And the first topic is amplify the subject of adolescent girl nutrition, which is an editorial of today's Hindu newspaper, which can be mapped to GS3 economic development, health and nutrition. After that, we'll be going with the topic of Ishad mango, which can be mapped to GS2 economy. Then what is Neolithic age, which can be mapped to GS1 history and culture. Then about Operation Amanat, which can be mapped to GS2 government schemes and initiatives. This is what we are planning for today's topic of discussion. Let us move towards the first topic, that is we are going to discuss about 2023 prelims question. Okay, so let us see the question. In which one of the following regions was the Anyakataka, which flourished as a prominent Buddhist center under the Mahasanghikas, located? Which is a question from ancient India, which was asked in 2023 prelims this year. The options are option A Andhra, option B Gandhara, option C Kalinga, and option D Magadha. So here you should understand that the Anyakataka, which is also known as Dhanakataka or Dharanikota. Okay, so these are the other names for this place called as Anyakataka. It is actually a kind of a prehistoric settlement, that is even before that is even at the time of Paleolithic or Neolithic age, we can see this kind of a slow settlements going to come up from the area of this. So it is currently present in the area of Amaravati in Andhra Pradesh. In Amaravati of Andhra Pradesh, we can see this area called as Danyakataka or Dhanakataka or Dharani or Kota. So we can see that it is actually a Buddhist center in ancient and medieval areas. It was a very prominent Buddhist center, and we can see that from about 2nd BC to 3rd CE, one particular dynasty was ruling in this areas of Andhra Pradesh. Suppose if this is India, so all this kind of an area, one particular dynasty is being ruling. So what is this age, 2nd BC to 3rd CE? It is actually the post-Mauryan period, right? In the post-Mauryan period, which is that dynasty which is ruling in the southern side, it is the Shatavahana dynasty. Very good. Many of you have said it correct. So the Shatavahana dynasty is being ruling that. So everyone must not very well know that Shatavahana dynasties gave, even though they followed a kind of Hinduism as a religion, but we can see that they were very much supportive of Buddhism. They supported this Buddhism, and because of which this place called as Dhanyakataka that become a very prominent Buddhist center. Okay, so we can see that the right answer to this question is option A, that is Andhra, that is Dhanyakataka or Dhanakataka or Dharanikota is actually a very important place in Andhra Pradesh, that is in Amaravati, which is a prehistoric settlement. And also we can see that it was a very prominent Buddhist center in ancient and medieval eras, especially under the patronage of whom Shatavahana dynasties between 2nd century BC and 3rd centuries CE. Okay, now let us see why this question have come in UPSC. Why in UPSC? We can see that in March 5th, 2023, this question was, news was there, that is a 7th International Dhamma Conference happened. 7th International Dhamma Conference have happened, and based on that current affair, we can see that the question have been asked in the 2023 prelims. So this is how we are tracing back the history of each of the questions that is being asked, why it is there in the news, or what is the relevance of this question in our 2023 prelims. Okay, so moving on to the next question. With reference to the ancient India, consider the following statements. The first statement, the concept of stupa is Buddhist in origin. The second statement is stupa was generally a repository of relics. And third statement is stupa was a votive and a commemorative structure in Buddhist tradition. How many of the statements given above are correct? Which is a question asked from art and culture. Only one, only two, all three, none. These are the options given. But students or friends, you should understand that stupa is actually a kind of a pre-Buddhist concept. That is even before Buddhism came in. So if you see the chronology of the events which happened, we can see that even before Buddhism, there was existence of Jainism. So we can see that this concept of stupa was already there in the pre-Buddhist period. So we can see that it was a pre-Buddhist burial site which is called as tumulus of Shramanas. Who are these Shramanas? Who are these Shramanas? These Shramanas are these Jain or the Buddhist monks, we call them as Shramanas. So this kind of a burial site of this Jain or Buddhist monk called as Shamanas were also called as stupas because they were buried in a seating position called as Chaityas. So this concept of building a mound or a heap above this kind of burial site of Shamanas was already there even the pre-Buddhist period also. Not only that, if you see the word stupa, it is actually originated from the Sanskrit word called as stup. Okay, it was actually originated from the Sanskrit with stup. So we can see that this concept or this idea of stupa was like in the pre-Buddhist period also. So the first statement we can eliminate it. The concept of stupa is Buddhist in origin. We can see that it was not a Buddhist in origin because the simple mounds of earth or stones that served as a commemorative markers for an important events or for any burial sites, we already used to call them as stup or stupa. This kind of a simple mound. So first statement we can say that it is wrong. Let us see the second statement. Stupa was generally a repository of relics. We can see that it is correct. Why? Stupas are generally repository of relics. What is relics? These are the relics of the objects that is associated with the Buddha. So we can see that if a stupa is in this form, like inside it, you can see these relics or these kind of things associated with the Buddha will be kept inside. So the relics means what? The physical remains of the Buddha's dead body, then his personal belongings or the items that was being used by him. So what is the significance of these items? So we can see that in the Buddhist tradition, these physical remains of the relics of the Buddhas are being considered as very sacred, and also it has got a spiritual significance in the religion of Buddhism. Okay, so we can say that the second statement is absolutely correct. Stupa was generally a repository of relics. Then third statement, stupa was a votive and commemorative structure in Buddhist tradition. So what is this votive? What do you mean by votive? Votive? Votive is actually a kind of a thing offered or consecrated in the fulfillment of a vow. Okay, so in like for a vow, if I am consecrating something like as a thing for the vow that I have taken, so we can see that we can call it as a votive. But if you see the statement here, stupa was a votive. Stupa was a votive and a commemorative structure. It is making it as a or UPSC is given it as a very conclusive kind of a statement. So we cannot always say that it was always a commemorative structure or always a votive. It can be. Or else we can say that it may be sometimes a commemorative structure and sometimes it may be used as a votive also, and sometimes it is used for embarking or marking some kind of a special significant event which happened in the life of the Buddha. So we can say that it was not always exclusively meant as a votive or a commemorative structure. It was used for other purpose also. So we can say that this kind of a conclusive statement is very extreme. So rather we can say that it may be used as a commemorative structure and also it can be used as a votive in many different areas also. So we can say that the right answer to this question is option B, that is only 2. Stupa was generally a repository of relics. Okay, so why this question is being asked in the UPSC? Why in UPSC? So here also we need to analyze, right? Why this question was asked in UPSC? Any idea? Anyone have any idea why it was asked in UPSC? Anyone who followed or marked up all the current affairs? We can see that the chondrite stones that is used for the beautification project surrounding the Puri Jagannath temple. Okay, for the beautification of the surrounding of the Puri Jagannath temple, these stones were supplied from a mining site in Odisha's Jajpur district, where the Archaeological Survey of India stumbled upon a 1,300-year-old stupa. So we can see that it was the news in almost February 28, 2023. In February 2023, it was there in the news because it is like a 1,300-year-old stupa was being found in the excavation or in the mining site when it was being used for excavating the Puri Jagannath temple. It was there in the news. And like it was a stupa which was found. So we can see that is why, or that is highly probability, that holds a high probability why this question was asked in the prelims for the 2023 also. So these are the two questions from the 2023 prelims that we are going to discuss. So I hope the concept is being clear, and also our main intention was to make you clearly understand how the UPSC is connecting the current affairs and why these questions are being asked in the UPSC. I hope it is clear to everyone. So now let us proceed to the current affair analysis. Moving on to the first topic, which is, as I already said, it is an editorial analysis, that is amplify the subject of adolescent girl nutrition. So what is the context? It is to unlock the full potential of India's future. For what we have to do? We have to prioritize the health and nutrition of its adolescent girls. This is what the author says. Now let us see why adolescence? What is the significance of this adolescence? So you should understand that this adolescence is always considered as a second window of opportunity of growth. That is, it's a very pivotal period of cognitive development, and improving the access to nutrition during this period is very, very critical. That is, if, for example, if any child was getting very less, was having a nutrient deficient during the early development stages in the girl's child, we can see that this adolescent period will be serving as a second window of opportunity of growth, and the girl child will be definitely able to improve a lot. Furthermore, the adolescent health is a significant indicator of a women's labor force participation in India in the long term. If we have a very healthy child in our youth or adolescent age, definitely our future will be under the safe hands. So as better nutrition improves every young girl's prospect to participate in productive activities. So thus the country beholds a colossal opportunity to add to its nation's demographic dividend by investing in nutrition interventions in adolescent girls. Now let us see about the ever-growing nutritional concerns, or why this news is in the editorial. So adolescent girls are particularly vulnerable to undernutrition and anemia due to the onset of menstruation. So during the puberty period or the adolescent period, we can see that menstruation will generally start as a biological process, and due to this, anemia will start to happen, or undernutrition, the lack of nutrition will also happen. So the findings of the National Family Health Survey, fifth one, which confirmed these concerns, a staggering 59.1% of adolescent girls were found to be anemic. That means less content of iron content in their blood. So there has been reports that 41.9% of the school-going girls are underweight. The numbers showcase a very, very worrying trend. So what makes the situation more complex is the fact that a range of factors, from environmental condition to cultural norms, that lack a gender-neutral environment within a household, it will definitely affect the uptake in adolescent girls. So according to the Indian scenario, it is not just a myth, but like the survey says that it is a real fact that girls are suffering from undernutrition and anemia, especially on the onset of menstruation. Okay, so what are the real concerns associated? One is definitely poorly balanced and insufficient diets. Right. So during the onset of menstruation, they will have to have a change in the diet, and they will have to balance their diets with the proper nutrients, right? So this kind of things will lead to cognitive impairment that affects one's academic performance, that it is going to impact their education. Right. So this can result in lower educational attainment, which can limit their opportunities for employment as well as their economic self-sufficiency later in their life. If a girl performs very less in education, there is very less probability that she is going to have a very good job in the future, and that will definitely affect her economic life, right? Her self-sufficiency in the future. Because having a financial independence is very, very critical or strategic for any kind of a girl, right? So next point, what? The kind of an impact it is going to have on their health. Okay, first of all, we told about their education and the impact that is going to have on their economy in the future. Now we are going to talk about their health condition. So this kind of undernourished adolescent girls, they are also at higher risk of chronic diseases and also pregnancy complications in the future, which can lead to a higher healthcare burden on both families as well as on their communities, potentially leading to financial instability and increased poverty. So this is all going to affect the poverty alleviation that we are striving from a long-term perspective. And if our girls are less healthy and if they are less educated, there is very less chance for them to participate fully in the society, whether through work, through politics, or through community involvement. So we can see that the participation of women or the women empowerment is very, very critical for the overall or the holistic development of the society. But if they are lagging behind with respect to undernutrition or health, or with respect to their education, it is going to have a great impact on our overall development of the society in the long term, which is very, very crucial. Now let us see what are the things which we can do, redefine the interventions. So we should not only center these interventions around good nutrition, but what we should do, but we should also adopt a kind of a life cycle approach. That is, we should ensure that there is no girl who is left behind. like there should not be a kind of a division between rich or poor with respect to the kind of quality education or the nutrition that she is going to get. So we can see that such kind of a small modifications can expand the scope of these kind of role of women in the longer perspective. So for example, the convergence of various government initiatives is one such thing which we see always see in the editorial analysis, right? In the like we can see that right now for the efficient execution of all the schemes, we can see different government departments are being converged, such as a scheme for adolescent girl or the SAG within the umbrella of the Prime Minister's overarching scheme for holistic nutrition program called as Portion 2.0. It is a step in the right direction provided it is implemented effectively. So we can see that different departments are converged for the effective implementation. Then what? Targeted adolescent oriented schemes such as Rashtriya Kishore Swasthya Karyakram or RKSK. So they could also include even stronger awareness, nutrition education programs. All these things will definitely help sustain beneficiary compliance. Then targeted and regionally contextualized social and behavioral change communication, that is called as SBCC. So the efforts from them around adolescent girl nutrition, it is very sure to generate greater demand and the adoption of good practices also. Then for improved outcomes, it is very imperative for effective convergence and collaborations among all the relevant departments, not just one department. All the relevant departments should come together for the effective implementation that fosters a collective endeavor. Such kind of a that idea of collective endeavors is very important for a efficient execution of any program. Then routine training of health workers for effective implementation and also monitoring of various schemes and also to adapt with an evolving landscape is also a crucial step in this process. Now, what we can conclude for this issue, how we can conclude diplomatically in a mains perspective. So we have an enormous responsibility as well as a tremendous opportunity. See the word usage, enormous responsibility as well as a tremendous opportunity to what? To ensure the welfare as well as for the upliftment of the nation. By what? By doing what? By prioritizing the nutritional need of India's girls, where the strength of the future of our country holds. The strength of a nation is measured by its ability to nurture its future generations. Right, that is why we are giving this much emphasis on the nutrients of adolescent girls. Hence, let us work collectively to sow the seeds of a healthier, stronger India where every girl can reach her full potential. Okay, moving on to the next topic, that is Ishad mango. What is the context? So recently, the delicious Ishad mango from Uttara Kannada, that is northern Karnataka, it has earned its much awaited GI tag, that is called as what? Geological indicator tag. Now let us say about Ishad mango. Okay, so why we are taking this topic? Because normally we can see that these kind of mushrooms. We have seen questions with respect to this kind of trees or the mushrooms which have got or any kind of a product which are getting GI tag. It is very frequently asked in UPSC. Right, so that is why we are giving special emphasis with respect to prelims point of view for these kind of topics. Now let us talk about Ishad mangoes. It is grown predominantly around Ankola, that is in Karnataka. It is tasty and contains a lot of pulp. It is very juicy and pulpy. So it is said that this mango variety has been cultivated for the last 400 years and it has got two varieties. What? Ishad mango has got two varieties which are the Kari Ishad and Bili Ishad. So what is this Kari Ishad? What is the specialty of Kari Ishad mangoes? It has thin skin but more pulp. Whereas in Bili Ishad, how it is? It has thick skin and less pulp and sweetness. If anyone is there from Uttara Karnataka, please do mention in the comments also whether which is your favorite one, Kari Ishad or Bili Ishad. Okay, so definitely all the other state people will be loving to know more about the Ishad mangoes. Okay, so definitely do comment about it, or if your friends are from Karnataka, just ask and do comment. Okay, so the Kari Ishad is accepted as one of the finest quality mangoes. Why? Because of its unique aroma. Aroma means the smell, the luscious taste, high amount of pulp, shape and size. Perfect for a mango to be eaten at this point of time, right? I hope everyone is having waters in your mouth right now after hearing about Ishad mango. Okay, so let us if we get a chance, let us also try it out about Ishad mango, and please do mention in comments that you have tried Ishad mango and how it is. Okay, yeah. So there are two types, Kari Ishad and Bili Ishad. Kari Ishad will be having thin skin and more pulp, where Bili Ishad will be having thick skin and less pulp. Now let us understand what is this geographical indication tag. So you should understand that it is a sign that is used on products that have a specific geographical origin and possess qualities or reputation that are due to that special origin. Okay, so that is, it is clearly authentic to one particular region. So this is typically used for agricultural products, foodstuffs, wine, spirit drinks, handicrafts, and also it can be used for industrial products. So the Geographical Identification of Goods Act, that is 1999, it seeks to provide for the registration and also for the better protection of geographical indication relating to goods in India. So if a product is getting GI tag, we can say that it is valid for 10 years, following which it can be renewed also. So who is giving this GI tag in India? Who is giving this GI tag in India? Any idea? Any idea who is giving this GI tag in India? Who is giving this GI tag in India? In India, the Geographical Indication Registry is there. Okay, the GI registry, the Geographical Indication Registry, the GI registry in Chennai is actually giving out this GI tags, and this is overseen by the Controller General of Patents, Designs and Trademarks under the Ministry of Commerce and Industry. Okay, under the Ministry of Commerce and Industry, we have the Controller General of Patents, Designs and Trademarks. He is overseen all the kinds of things being given by the Geographical Indication Registry, which is there in Chennai, Tamilnadu. Okay, moving on to the next topic. What is Neolithic age? What is the context? Why we are talking about Neolithic age in the daily current affairs? So a celt belonging to the Neolithic period was recently discovered in Putinatham village in Tamil Nadu. What is a celt? What is a celt? Any idea what is a celt? Celt is actually a polished stone axe. Okay, just like a stone axe that is polished, it is called a celt. Okay, if you want to see the image, I have an image also. See, this is called as a celt. Okay, see, this is a celt. This you can see here. Sorry. So this is actually a measurement scale for you to understand how long or how big it is. So this is a scale that is discovered from the Putinatham village, which was there in the Hindu also. Okay, so such kind of a recent discoveries by ASIs and all is very a favorite topic from UPSC, because this kind of a map based questions or this kind of a historical based questions can be easily asked by connecting this with the static subjects. So that is why we are discussing about Neolithic age. So Neolithic is also called as what? New Stone Age. Neo means new, Lithic means stone. Neolithic age means new Stone Age. It is a final stage of cultural evolution or technical development among prehistoric humans. That is, after Paleolithic, Mesolithic and Neolithic, we can see that almost we have started agriculture, settlements have started. So we can see that we are in the final stage of technological development with the pottery and also other kind of wheels also. Okay, so the Neolithic stage of development was attained during the Holocene epoch. Holocene epoch. So if you see the kind of a classification with respect to our geography, so geographical timeline, we can see that Holocene is a current geological epoch, and it began approximately around 11,700 years of that is before 2000 CE. So the starting point of Neolithic is generally thought to have occurred sometimes about 10,000 BC, and it is followed by the Paleolithic period or the age of chip stone tools, and preceded the Bronze Age or the early period of the metal tools also. So this is the cell that is discovered in Putinatham village. The Neolithic revolution started in the Fertile Crescent. What is this Fertile Crescent? Any idea? What is this Fertile Crescent? Fertile Crescent? It is a region of the Middle East where humans first took up farming. So if you see this kind of a map of Middle East, the area between the Middle East and the Turkey region, you can see this kind of a area that you can, if you see or if you Google it, you can see an area like this. This is called as a Fertile Crescent. That is, it is a crescent shaped region in the Middle East spanning modern day Iraq, Syria, Lebanon, Israel, Palestine and Jordan, together with the northern region of Kuwait, southeastern region of Turkey, and also the western portion of Iran. So this is called as a Fertile Crescent, because we can see that it is also called as a cradle of all the Neolithic agriculture, which actually started because it is very fertile. So the term Neolithic is most frequently used in connection with agriculture, which in time when cereal cultivation was introduced. What are the features? So it was characterized by stone tools shaped by polishing or grinding, We can see that the stone tools was also much more developed kind of a thing. Dependence on domesticated plants or animal settlement in permanent villages used to happen. Slowly agriculture started to happen. Appearance of pottery and weaving also started to happen. The houses were built of mud and reed, rectangular, circular shapes. All these kind of the basic of or the basis of civilization started to appear during the Neolithic age. So some of the important Neolithic sites in India include Mehergarh. Okay, the oldest Neolithic site in the province of Pakistan is called as Baluchistan. Then Barzam in Kashmir, Chiran in Bihar, and Uttar in Andhra Pradesh, Idakal caves in Kerala. So all these are the important sites where, important Neolithic sites where you can see this kind of different excavations. Okay. Moving on to the next topic, that is Operation Amanat. So what is the context? What type of operation? Is that a military coup? Is that a kind of a military exercise? So it was not like that. It is actually operation under the Railway Protection Force, which recently conducted a successful operation in Amanat, resulting in the retrieval of lost or left behind luggage and valuable articles. So if you had any kind of an experience wherein you have lost any any of your luggages or valuable articles, this was an operation conducted by the RPF so that it can be brought back to the people. Okay, so what is Operation Amanat? So under this Operation Amanat initiative, the Railway Protection Force has taken a novel initiative to make it easier for the passengers to get back their lost luggage. And also it helps to track the lost belongings of the passengers. So what is happening or how the procedures is being done? The details of the lost luggage along with the photos are uploaded by the RPF personnel of the respective divisions. Then the details are uploaded in the web portal in the tab of divisions under the link Mission Amanat RPF. And passengers can check whether their luggage which went missing or was lost in railway premises or trains is available at the lost property offices centers at the station. This is how the things work. Okay, now let us see most importantly about Railway Protection Force. You might have seen about this kind of a police while traveling in train and all, right? Are they the normal civilian police? No. Are they CRPF? No. So who are they? So the RPF is a security force of India entrusted with protecting the railway passenger area and railway property of the Indian Railways, and it was established by the Railway Protection Force Act of 1957, and it is the only central armed police force commonly known as paramilitary force which has the power to arrest, investigate and prosecute criminals, and also it is under the authority of Ministry of Railways under the Indian Railways. All the officers of the RPF are members of the Indian Railway Protection Force Service and are recruited through UPSC. It is headed by the Director General, or the post of Director General is held on deputation by a senior IPS officer also. Okay, so this is a brief thing about the RPF, but you should understand about Operation Amanat. What is Operation Amanat? Okay, moving on to the question of the day. Which of the following statement best describes the purpose of the geographical indication tag or the GI tag? Option A, to certify the safety and quality standards of a product. Option B, to indicate the product's country of origin. Option C, to protect traditional products and their geographical origin. Option D, to promote exports and increase market competitiveness. Okay, so friends, you should here clearly understand that the question is asked, which of the following statement best describes? So we can see that all the statements are approximately correct with respect to the question, but it is being asked to give the best description. What is the best description? It is option C, to protect the traditional products and also their geographical origin. Okay, so with that, we have come to the conclusion of today's current affair topics and analysis. Also, the previous year question analysis and discussion. If you have any kind of suggestions or feedback, please do mention in the comment section. Let us be very interactive throughout the session also. So, unless and until we meet next time, this is Prince J signing off. Thank you.